Hey y'all, today on the farm it is incredibly hot. We are fertilizing grain sorghum and we're talking about the future of gluten-free products made on this farm for you. While I'm thinking about it, don't none of y'all forget we're having a giant pumpkin competition right here on the farm. November the 1st, Saturday, November the 1st, right here at the farm store in front of this field up there. We're gonna be weighing giant pumpkins. We're gonna have pumpkins out here. I have a pumpkin patch. We're gonna have thousands of pumpkins for sale all throughout October. But on November the 1st, give away $100 to whoever comes up here with the biggest pumpkin. I'm growing pumpkins too. I may keep my money, but I may have to give it to one of y'all. If you show up here November 1st with a giant pumpkin and it outweighs everybody else, you'll be taking home a crisp, brand new $100 bill. I'm gonna print it just before y'all get here. No, it'll be a real one. It'll be a real one. I'll probably be some of my money I took in from selling bees. I'll save one of those crisp $100 bills. I will give it to whoever brings the biggest pumpkin to the farm store November the 1st. You need to plant your pumpkins now. Now is the time to plant them. This is the last few days of June. You may be watching this on the first few days of July. Plant your pumpkins now. This is the side dress rig, or lay-by rig as some people call it. It is a nitrogen applicator with drop hoses on it, hooked to the nozzles. And so the reason we call it lay-by or side dress is because it's gonna lay that nitrogen right by the row. It just comes by and it lays it right by the row. So it's a lay-by rig or side dress rig. Some people call it side dressing because you're side dressing. You're laying it right beside the plant. The old timers, when I was younger, the old timers always say, have y'all got your crop laid by yet? And what they mean is the crop starts to get too big. When the crop gets bigger than this, it's up almost to my waist, it's above my knees. It gets much bigger than this, you can't drive in it no more. It gets too tall for the tractors that we had back in the 90s and earlier. And so they say, have you got it laid by? Meaning, have you did that last application? Because once you have it laid by, once you come in and drop that second application of fertilizer by it, you're done until harvest because it's too big. That means the work has been completed. Now you're waiting on maturity. So the farmers always say, hey, y'all got everything laid by? Meaning, have you got all the work done and you're waiting on harvest? I know some of y'all saw this in a previous video, but for those of y'all who are new, when we get to the field, I'm going to fold these arms out with hydraulics from the cab. First, I got to take them back here manually, take them out of these lock holders. I'll pick them up and set them out, then the hydraulics will fold them out. And then I'm going to hit a hydraulic lever, that's going to power this cylinder right here to push this wheel, this bull wheel, into this ground wheel. So then whatever speed I run, it'll turn this wheel that speed, which will then turn these chains and pull this pump at that speed. So the faster I go, the more nitrogen it'll pump, and the slower I go, it will slow down. So unlike when I'm spraying, if I'm spraying a herbicide or pesticide or fungicide or something like that with a spray rig, you have a set speed and a set PSI to put out the recommended amount or the desired amount per acre. With this, you set your amounts on the side of the pump, and then your ground speed, adjust it to put out the correct amount no matter what speed you're running. Now that I've been running here, you can see the line right here, fertilizer by this row, and a line by that row. So it's laid a strip down next to each row. We've laid a line of fertilizer right beside either side of the row. all the sorghum I grew last year, grain sorghum. Some people call it millet, some people call it milo. I know some of y'all gonna say milo and millet are two different things, but I've heard grain sorghum, millet, and millet all used interchangeably, like one word, like different words for the same thing, by farmers, by seed salesmen, by chemical reps. They've used all three terms interchangeably. I call it grain sorghum, you may call it millet or milo, whatever, but my grain sorghum last year, every bit of it, it went to several buyers. I think I sold it to 3 or 4 different buyers, but every bit of it was poured out on the ground for wild quail. It was all quail food. So I had about 90 acres right here, and I believe, y'all can go back and watch the video, I believe we averaged 75 bushels per acre. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's what was in the video, what we did. 75 bushels times 90 was bought and poured out on the ground for quail feed. And that's fine, you know, I don't care as long as the money clears the bank. They can do what they want to with it. But I would rather turn it into food. It is my desire to make gluten-free flour out of this. I have made some on small scale at home and at my farm store with my grinding facility. And I wanna eventually market gluten-free flour straight from my farm, and possibly some gluten-free breads or something. Maybe we got to work with another company, with someone already established in the bread company, established brands. But I want to turn this grain sorghum on my farm into gluten-free bread products, flour products, meal products that I can sell direct to end consumers. So we're not just pouring this out on the ground for wildlife, we're actually providing food for my neighbors and for my friends and for you folks. I popped some of the grain sorghum last year, and I still have some at home, but you can pop it in the microwave just like popcorn, and it makes the smallest, tiniest little popcorn you've ever seen in your life. I reckon you call it pop sorghum, but it looks just like popcorn, except it is incredibly tiny. I'll see if I got a picture on my phone. I'll include it in this video if I can find it. If you do the math on the bushels per acre and the acres times the price I got per bushel, I sold over $40,000 worth of bird seed last year. That's a lot of bird seed, y'all. I ain't no joke. That's a lot of bird seed. However, this is non-GMO sorghum. It's never been sprayed with Roundup. This is good, high quality, human consumption product here. There's no need in us just pouring all out on the ground for the quail. And I like quail hunting as much as anybody. Quail are the most tastiest food on the planet. The best thing God gave us to eat was wild quail. However, we can do something a lot better with all this sorghum than feed wild quail. For those of y'all that did not see my short yesterday on this very activity, you have to put out this liquid nitrogen right ahead of a rain if you're on a dry land field, a non-irrigated field. If you're on an irrigated field, you just put it out and cut the irrigation on. But on a dry land field, we put this stuff out, and if it does not rain on it, it will evaporate and leave here, and we will get no usage out of it. So you have to wait until you know you're going to have a rain, and you want to do it at the last possible moment when you can still travel across the top of your crop. So your crop's borderline too big, because if you do it too soon, then there'll be no fertilizer left in the field at the end of production. You want to wait till the last moment possible in the size of the crop for you to travel across the top of it and be right ahead of a rain that's coming that day or the next. I put out one tank out here yesterday at a 98% chance of rain, and when I finished putting that tank out, the chance of rain had dropped to 15%, and it eventually did not rain at all. So today I started back, and I have a 95% chance of rain. I see it. It's back yonder. 95% chance of rain. Of course, it was right over there yesterday. I saw it yesterday too. And then after today, we have a substantial chance every day for a week. So I feel pretty good about it getting rain at some point. We just don't know if it's going to get it today or not. If y'all are wondering what variety of sorghum this is, what is the actual name brand and the particular variety, this is a Carolina Seed Systems grain sorghum. I don't know the exact number on the variety. My local rep, Anders Alsison, is a viewer of this channel. He came out to the farm, introduced himself, asked me if I would try the seed out. He didn't sponsor the video. He asked me if I would try it out. And after looking at the data and meeting him and talking to him, I agreed. So I purchased the seed that he recommended. I said, if you'll come out here and pitch it, you're going to make the recommendation on what you think is going to work on this farm. And I just took his recommendation. And so far, it looks so good. We'll find out when the combine hits the field what the real results are, but so far I've been very pleased with the Carolina Seed Systems grain sorghum. Well, I guess that's gonna shut this party down for the day. I don't think you can buy a tire at 6 o'clock on a Sunday night anywhere that I'm aware of close by. So one tank shy of finishing the field off. I reckon we'll get that done after the tire store opens in the morning. We'll get that done tomorrow and so on and so forth. However, I know this coming week, the week of 4th of July is when everybody goes on vacation all over the nation. Everybody likes to go to the beach. They like to get out and travel. So I want to tell all y'all, remind all y'all, be safe this week. Don't do nothing crazy. Y'all be safe out there on the road. Be safe with them fireworks, y'all. They're dangerous. I'm just saying, they're dangerous. Everybody be safe. If you're traveling, stop by your local farm stores. If you're not coming by me, if I'm not open during your schedule, maybe stop at my neighbors, White Oak Pastures. They right down the road from me. They sell my grits and cornmeal in their store along with pasture-raised beef and all kind of other stuff. Stop in and see Will and them at White Oak Pastures. If you're down going further south to the beach, stop in the Peach Depot down there in Iron City, Georgia, right outside of Donaldsonville. The Peach Depot sells a lot of peas and butter beans. You can't get to me, get to them. They got the same stuff down there. And they are making peanut butter ice cream just like I made. They make it down there too. Fresh serve every day. If you get further south, go on in O'Cheesy Creamery. I love to stop in O'Cheesy Creamery, a little dairy farm in North Florida in the Panhandle. I stop on my way to Port St. Joe and Indian Pass. I pull in O'Cheesy, get me some fresh milk straight from the farm and fresh ice cream straight from the farm. It is delicious. You coming down through middle Georgia, y'all stop at Calhoun Produce or Gibbs Produce. There is a lot of farms, a lot of farm stores all across this nation. Stop by one on your way, get you something fresh from the farm to your table. I thank all y'all for watching. Hope to see you next time.